How to become an entrepreneur at 18. There's a lot of videos out there talking about how to become a young entrepreneur, and some of them are great. Lots of ridiculous though. I'm going to show you guys in this video what I did and the path I took, and how to remove a lot of the mistakes I made along the way. Let's dive in. All right, I went through 34 product tries over 5 years. Sane people get jobs by then, okay? I just kept going. But after that, I went through 46 straight successes that have resulted in 10 million in the last 3.5 years. And I'm really excited about that, obviously. I've worked my face off to get here, all right? And one of the things that I've been asked more and more is, what did your parents do with you to instill entrepreneurship at a young age? Because I was very entrepreneurial even as a kid. The other thing that people say is like, well, some people are just born with this money thing, and you know, that's great for them, and the rest of us just have to struggle and suffer. And it's bullcrap, okay? Money making is a skill set just like learning how to play the piano or any sport. Okay? It's just a skill set. When I got a little bit older, I was struggling to feed my family when I was in college, and I found out my ex-wife really wasn't eating much because she was so afraid that we didn't have enough food to eat. We only had $1,000, and it cost us $1,100 a month to live, okay? We're living bare bones college life. And I was like, I can't feed, like, this is insane. So I asked my dad for money, and I remember I went up to a college room on campus, and I was pacing around the classroom, and I called my dad. I'm the oldest of 6 kids. I worked a lot of labor jobs. I know how to work. And so it's very not normal for me to ask this kind of question to my dad, but I said, Dad, I can't feed the fam. Could you float me like $3,000 while we wait for student loans to come in? And long pause on the phone. And he said, I still remember his voice. He said, son, no. If I give you this money now, you will not exhaust the resources you didn't know you had. All right, now I'm a parent now. I'm going to applaud that parenting. That's awesome. That's the kind of stuff my dad did with me. He had me be the yard manager when I was growing up, which meant I had to hire my siblings and get contracts with them and invoice my dad if we wanted to get paid for mowing the lawn and that kind of stuff. They did a lot of stuff with me. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to show you guys some really simple things you can do to become an entrepreneur at age 18. They're not that challenging. They're just not commonly known. Let's dive in. All right, the first thing you need to do if you're going to try and be an entrepreneur at age 18 is a product. That seems obvious, but why did it take me 34 tries over 5 years? It took me 34 tries over 5 years, and I was like, this wasn't just like a little thing. I was going for it, all in. I literally walked down Main Street pitching people once, okay? I was all in, and I was willing to suck in order to get good. It's one of the first things you really have to do, okay? And so one of the reasons why it took me so long to really figure this game out was because of how long it took me to learn this simple lesson. I am not my customer. You are not your customer. But how do most of us create products? With ourselves in mind. That's the wrong answer. It's the wrong approach. Don't do that. You don't fill your own wallet, so why do you care so much about your opinions? As long as what you're selling is ethical, moral, and legal, who cares what your product is? You're not your customer. You don't fill your own wallet. So you got to stop asking, what should I sell? What should I sell? What should I sell? Which is exactly what I did. And you have to change the question. And I believe that questions invite revelation. So when you change the question, you'll get a different answer. So instead of, what should I sell? What should I sell? What should I sell? Which was the question I just whipped myself with for years. Change the question to, who should I sell? Not what should I sell? Who should I sell? Who should I sell? Who should I sell? And the product you create is as simple as you figuring out that question and then solving one of their problems. That's it. That's as simple as it. That's so easy. I don't know why it took me so many tries to figure that out. I'm not my customer. I'm not the one I'm selling. So my opinions don't really matter as long as what I'm selling is ethical, moral, and legal. So that's step number 1. Got to create a product, but don't create it with yourself in mind. Create it for a specific person thinking about their problems, the things they're struggling with. Okay, that's so much easier. The distance to cash is much shorter if you remove yourself as the equation. I kept making products and products and products and products. Think about this. Tell me in the comments below, by the way, if you've ever done this before. We've all fallen into this trap. What product should I create? Oh, this would be a great product to make. And so you go off into your laboratory, right? And you're making the product and making the product. And you start talking to your friends and family. Do you think this is a good idea? They want to encourage you, so what do they say? Oh, that's a great idea. That is a good idea. So you go back to your laboratory. Yeah, this is a great idea. It's going to be an amazing idea. Have you talked to a customer at all yet? No. Are your friends and family your best customers? No. Why did you ask them? because you finish the product and then you go back to them. You want it? Backstep. It's just not a good time for me right now. That trap is what kills most entrepreneurs. And it's because of who you're asking. Don't ask yourself, you're not the one buying it, and don't ask your friends and family, even though they're trying to encourage you. You have to talk to the customer. Step number 2, after you have a product, you have to create a sales message. A few years ago, I got really tired of people telling me, Steve, what's the exact script I need to use in order to go make money on the internet? Right? Or they would finish their product and be like, the product just isn't selling. And I show the product to people and they don't purchase it. I got tired of that. And so I was hired to go do some coaching for a really big community. And I grabbed a random book off of my shelf. And as I was on the flight, I started thinking through how I could use this book to destroy this false belief, this mentality. So this has become famous on the internet. In fact, I have other YouTube videos you can check out of me doing this. And basically what I did is I told a story. And I said, hey, this isn't the first. You guys remember the first entrepreneurial attempt you ever made in your life? Oh, man, that was really tough, wasn't it? That was hard. And then I remember when I was on try like number 8. And my loved one started asking, is this the one that's going to work? That's the dreaded question all of us entrepreneurs hear from everybody. Is this the one that's going to work? And on the outside, you're like, yeah, ain't nothing but a thing. I got this. And on the inside, you're like, I don't know, right? You're like, you hope so. And you have no idea, though. And so I was getting that question. I was on try 8. I was coming out of one of my college classes one day, and I see this super rich dude sitting, waiting for, just on a bench. Limo pulls up in front of him, and he gets in. And as soon as this limo goes to close the door, limo driver, I ran. And I threw my hand in the door to stop it from shutting. And I said, hey, you're rich. How'd you get this way? I'm on try 8. It's not that I'm not trying. What are you doing that I'm not doing? It's not that I'm not walking. I'm walking down Main Street, baby. How do I do this? And he looks at me and he hands me this book. I held up the book that I brought with me on the flight. What do you think everyone started doing? Buying the book on Amazon. Okay, there was like 400 people in the audience. Okay, and I was like, and so all these people started buying it. They don't know anything else about it. And then I said, hey, just so you know, the author has heard that story now, and I can give this book out for free. And I'll give you the audiobook with it, and I'll give you a bullet point outline, but I can only give 20 of them away for each event. You guys ready? All right, let's do it. There was a stage rush. Okay, people sprinted on the stage to grab this book. Here's the catch. I made it all up. It was a fake story. It's called the fake book story now on the internet. Okay, the fake book story's purpose is to show that your product is not why they buy. It's not why they buy. So while step 1 is to create a product, it's not why they purchase. But we all think it is. Why do they purchase? They purchase because of a sales message. Did I tell anyone about the chapters in the book? No. Did I tell anyone about the 2 enthusiastic thumbs up reviews on the back? No. Why do people want the book? Because of the story it's wrapped in. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur when you're 18, you have to learn how to tell a sales story. Sales-based stories cause desire for what you've created. No product sells itself. I don't care how many colleges or mainstream entrepreneurship tells you that. When Steve Jobs even held up the first iPod, right? And he's like, hey, he still had a sales message, even though it was brand new and a genius product. If you want to know why your sales don't work, it's not because your product isn't good enough. It's because your sales message isn't good enough. If you're going to be an entrepreneur at 18, you have to learn how to tell a sales message. Hey guys, before we move on here, I need you to click that delicious red rectangle. It says subscribe. It's free for you to do that, but it means a lot for this channel if you think this content is worth anything at all. Also, if you love this video, toss a little thumbs up. If you think I'm garbage, do a little thumbs down. Just give me some feedback here. In the comments, I'd love to hear what your first product ever was. Mine was a yard business, and it went okay. Then after all that, I went to stocks and options, and it went terrible. Step number 3, if you're going to be an entrepreneur when you're 18 or ever. Hey, I realized I was learning like crazy, and I was following this guy named Robert Kiyosaki, amazing guy. And he decided to be a salesman for the first year and a half of trying to be an entrepreneur. And I thought that was really clever. And the reason that he said he did that is that if you can't sell, you will not be a successful entrepreneur. So he's like, well, I'm going to go learn how to be an entrepreneur then. And I had a sales guy, so I can't be an entrepreneur. So he ended up failing for 18 months. Can you imagine not getting a sale for 18 months? And it was his full-time job. And so he's trying and trying. He was good. He went from one of the worst salespeople to one of the best, and then became a great entrepreneur. When I heard that, I realized that unless I knew how to sell, I would never be a successful entrepreneur. And so I actually chose to do 2 summers of door-to-door sales. I was like, give me the toughest environment. I want the equivalent of sales training boot camp. So I did 2 summers of door-to-door sales, a lot of rejection you got to learn to deal with. And then I also was a telemarketer. It was like the crappiest, those are not awesome, but I did it on purpose so that I could learn how to sell in really tough environments. That was very advantageous for me. Step number 3 here is that you need to spend 80% of your time selling. Do not, I want all y'all to raise your right hand, which for you might be left, or I don't know how it mirrors. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I don't care about my logo because it doesn't sell crap. Okay? Stop worrying about your logo. Don't worry about your logo. Branding comes second to all this stuff. It actually doesn't matter. I didn't have a logo for my first $1 million product until 6 months after I started selling it. Your logo doesn't matter. Don't worry about branding. Don't you dare make a business card. That garbage is dumb. Okay? All you need to do is focus on selling. And so this is how I approach selling. I get a calendar, an actual wall calendar. Steven, I don't have a wall. Liar. Okay? Go get a wall. I don't have a calendar. Buy one. They're $10 on Amazon. Put it on the wall. And then all I do is I take a green marker, green meaning money, and I look at my calendar and I plan out my revenue activities, my sales activities 3 months in advance. So I know what I'm doing as I'm making this video with you, I know exactly what my sales-based activities are for the next 3 months. That's all you got to do when you're 18. That's it. Just go and, hey, you know what? I'm going to pitch this person. You know what? I'm going to do, I'm going to try and do a little podcast interview with somebody. I'm going to try and do, that's how you get out there. And that's how you do it. And plan those activities. If you don't, the trap is to get back and fall into this. It's a trap where all you do is you keep, they're not buying because my product's not good enough. That's not why. They're not buying because I don't have a good logo. That's definitely not why. Okay. And you start falling into business building traps instead of selling stuff, okay? So spend 80% of your time selling. I got a free gift here for you. I asked 30 internet millionaires, what would your final offer be if you could only make one last offer and it had to fund the rest of your life? That was a really cool free summit. It's called Your Final Offer, yourfinaloffer.com. The link is in the description. You can check it out for free and hear their very insightful answers.